This year will pass if you're ready or not. Lock in with us as we build a community of people ready to move off grid. At the end of this water course, you will have a solid water plan. You will be able to find and evaluate water sources. You will be able to safely store and transport water. You will know how to develop your own delivery and filtration systems based on your unique situation and setup. You will be confident in the principles of water catchment. You will gain all the knowledge necessary to build a water plan from the ground up for your future off-grid goal that we found. And here we go. Welcome back. If you're here for week 3, then that means that you've done something that most people have never done.
Pretty darn proud of myself.
You found a water source. You visited your water source. You stood in front of a living source that could sustain your life. Most people pass water all the time. Lakes, streams, rivers, and they never once think, if it all came to a stop, could I live off of that water? But you did. Give yourself one of these, and one of these, and one of these for being here today. Being here today and showing up for each one of these sessions is an act of self-love and an act of self-respect. It's recognition that your life is worth far more than a minimum wage.
Damn right.
Yeah.
When you think about the job you show up for, if you get paid a minimum wage, 1 cent less would be a crime. This week, we're taking a huge leap, maybe the largest leap of the course.
I'm not scared.
In week 1, we got our maps. We became familiar with the water sources around us. We got a topographical map that indicates our elevations, and we know that water hits the tall areas first, and then it flows and then collects at the lowest spots. Now we know where our closest sources of water are, and we know the largest sources. And then we met Our Lady Water. We got to know the environment that she inhabits and all of the wildlife that she sustains. This week, we're going to learn to trust her. We will drink water from natural sources with confidence, not recklessly or with fear, but competently with the skills of someone who is sovereign. So why on earth would someone drink water off the ground? Because if and when you do, you are no longer dependent.
Damn right.
Yeah.
You are capable and unafraid. You release all anxiety of what would happen if the infrastructure failed, if the water in the pipes was no longer safe,
I'm not scared.
or the system was no longer able to deliver it to you, or if you just have a desire to live closer to nature. You become resilient. So our why is twofold. 1, we're releasing the fear and anxiety of drinking from natural water sources. And 2, to build skills that we can use at any time, anywhere in the world. By the end of this week's assignment, you'll be proficient at identifying drinkable water sources. You'll know what filtration is versus purification and when to use each. But before we get into the how of filters, let's talk about what. So there are 4 categories of contaminants that we want to remove from our water. 1 is sediment. And this is all of the visible floaties in the water. That's sand and dirt, organic matter, little buggies and their eggs. Many times you can just let your water sit for 24 to 48 hours and the sediment has weight and it'll fall to the bottom, and then you can pour off the clearer water and it puts less work on your filters. And a lot of this can be removed with a t-shirt doubled over a few times or a bandana. Then next we have microbes. Microbes are the little teeny things you can't see. This is bacteria. These are, the living organisms. They're invisible to the eye. This one will need microfiltration. The next one is viruses. This is something that you have to deal with if you're in a densely populated area with poor sanitation. If there was an emergency flood, you might have to deal with it. Or if you're dealing with a water source that has sewage contamination. This you cannot take care of with a filter. And the fourth category is chemicals and heavy metals. So this is your pesticides and your industrial runoff. This is lead and mercury. But what is the difference between filtering and purifying? Are they not the same? They are not. A filter is a physical barrier. A filter does not kill anything, it catches it. So this one is good for sediment, of course, and bacteria, protozoa, and sometimes some chemicals. Purification neutralizes and destroys on a molecular level. So purification kills what filters can't. And this is important if you are looking at a water source and you're concerned about viruses. And types of purification: boiling, UV lights, chlorine, like a chemical treatment. I think they sell like little tabs. So you can think of it this way. The filter cleans the water and the purification makes it like hyper safe. Sometimes you need to do both. So let's start with filters. Before you run your water through the filter, you should do a pre-filter. And this can be as simple as putting your water in a 5-gallon bucket and letting it sit for 24 to 48 hours. All the sediment falls to the bottom, and then that is so much less work for your filter. Another pre-filter is simple as running it through your t-shirt. That's why we pre-filter. So we put less strain on our filters because a lot of times we're gonna purchase these. So we want them to last as long as possible. It makes the next step way more efficient. So we're aware of what's in the water. There are 4 things that could be in the water. There's sediment, there's microbes, there's viruses, and then there's chemicals and heavy metals. We know that to take these contaminants out of our water, we're going to either filter or purify them. If you have spring water, like right out of the ground, like you're at the source, then this is probably just gonna need a filter. If this is something that resonates, then this gift is waiting. And depends on how comfortable you are living with nature. If you've never drank natural waters before, then you definitely should put this through a filter. You know, coyote stomach, it's real. If you have grown up drinking natural waters, then this spring water, you just get yourself a cup. If you have coyote stomach, you just get a cup, it's fine. But the rest of us, we're just gonna Brita filter it. You can run this, you could probably run this one through your t-shirt. You will probably be okay. But as always, think for yourself. Also, flowing bodies of water pretty much only need a filter. But always, to be safe, I don't know, UV pens are not that expensive, and boiling it you only do for a minute. So when it comes to drinking water, if you have some sort of like oral infections, if you have immune compromised biology, then maybe it's just always safe to just boil your water or run a UV light after you filter it. You're definitely going to purify your water if it is in a flood area post-disaster. If you're in an area that has poor sanitation, or if you're in an area, it's so sad, if you are getting water that has farm runoff. If there's a large farm, the runoff, you're definitely gonna need to purify that. So this week's assignment, if you choose to accept it, we are going to gather a quart mason jar of water from one of our three sources that we think is the safest to drink from. We're gonna go to that source, we're gonna crack open our jar, we're gonna get some of that good middle water, because we ain't scared.
I'm not scared.
Pop the tap on it, take it home. Let your water sit for 24 to 48 hours until all the settlement has come to the bottom. In another vessel, another chalice, if you will, we're going to pour this clearer water into, and you'll notice the settlement will start to like swirl a little bit, so you want to get minimal. Like, don't be afraid if some gets in it, it's fine. So a minimal amount, we're going to pour into the next chalice. Now, we're going to take this water and run it through a filter. So filters could be anything from a cloth, like if you've gotten this water from a natural spring or from a pretty clear flowing creek, you're probably okay. You could probably drink this water right now. You might want to get a Brita. That's really, you know, that extra step of filtration. There are tons of field filters out there. Some work with gravity, where you fill up a bag and then it goes through the filter in a hose and then it fills another bag. You know, there's the straw. There's pumps even, but there's a lot of filters. It's not a bad investment. This course deals with off-grid leaning toward homestead. It's not off-grid leaning toward survivalist, because we feel like homestead is more realistic. It's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to find some place and stay there for a long period of time. We want to hold our ground. We want it to be comfortable for eating, sleeping, and bathing year round. Where survivalist lends itself to a nomadic and solitary way of living, where you don't need to store large bunches of water, and what's best in a survival situation is to have everything that you need for survival on your back. That's a little extreme, so we're not going there. That'll be at another time. Right now, we're trying to build a homestead. We're trying to build comfort. So investing in a filter for drinking water is something that is beneficial, that will help you. Yeah, invest in a filter. So you've run it through the filter. Now, let's say that when it comes to water, you were unable to find a spring. You don't have any creeks, any flowing waters. There's no rivers near you, except for maybe like huge, like the Mississippi. If this is your only option for water, you know, water with traffic in it, something like that, then fresh water, because if we're talking about seawater, then we need desalinization. And you can do that. You just distill it. So for distilling water, you have a large basin, and then you put a smaller basin in the middle with some sort of inverted top. So on a small level, it might be a big bowl with saran wrap and a rock in the middle, and then a cup like under there at the concave, like apex, Z-pex, I don't know, at the point. So, and then the water heats up, rises, condenses on the top, and then flows down the top into this middle reservoir. That is what you could do if you wanted to drink salt water. Desalinization, distillation. So if you have a questionable freshwater source, like your water has traffic, you're going to need to purify it. So we've run it through the filter, and you're going to need to boil it. You're going to boil it for a minute and then let it cool. Boiling it for more than a minute obviously doesn't hurt. you're just losing some of the longer you boil it, the more you're losing in steam. 1 minute's enough. Cool down. UV pens. A drop of bleach per gallon of water. This is totally safe to drink. This would be less than probably the chlorine that comes out of your tap. 1 drop of bleach probably won't make your water smell like chlorine, but a lot of places the water does. So, yeah, there's that. And that's it. That's week 3.
3 is always 3, 3, 3.
You did it. You did it. One of these, one of these, one of these for showing up for you. Let's put this all together, okay? Because next week, we're gonna get a drink together. So this week, you're gonna go get a mason jar. You're gonna get a full 1 quart sample of your lady water, and you're gonna bring it home. And then you're gonna let it sit there. All the settlement's gonna fall to the ground. Let it sit there 24 to 48 hours. Then take your mason jar and another chalice. Pour your clear water into your new chalice, not to be too worried if a little sediment gets into it. We're gonna take this water and pour it through our filter. What kind of filter did you choose? I can't wait to find out next week at the live. Bring your filters. Show us what you did. Did you figure out some off-grid survival way of doing it? Where you got some charcoal and sand and then you built a structure? If you did, we want to see it. Run it through the filter. Now, after you've run it through the filter, we know that if we got this from a spring or from a fast-moving small creek or river, that this might be okay. But if we did get this from water that has traffic, then we're gonna need to purify it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Take a sip. You have gone out into the wild. You have found water off the ground and you have made it safe to drink. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Congratulations. Celebrate good times. Come on. You did it. You went out, you found water, you evaluated it, you tested it, you logged it, you brought it home, you filtered it, and you purified it. And now it is completely safe to drink. You should be so proud of yourself.
Pretty darn proud of myself.
I can't wait to see all of your faces. It's been fun seeing the names, getting the support and the love. Thank you very much. Back at you. So at the live, we're so excited. Ryan's gonna be with us and we're gonna see your water, your journals, your filters. We're gonna answer some questions if you have them. We're gonna get to meet each other. How exciting. So that's all for this week. See you at the live.
I love my
Welcome
life.
back now. You?